Hello again, this is Andy Nicol, the tutor for the Perfectly Spoken Advanced course. Hello everyone, whether you're a new student or you're tuning in again after having watched some of the other videos. Today's lesson, lesson 12 in the advanced course, is on vocabulary and it's on expressions with time. So if you've got the time to spare, please do continue watching this video. So expressions with time. This is a C1 level lesson, advanced and IELTS 7. So here we go. So this lesson, you're going to look at the following. Expressions with time, including idiomatic expressions. Verbs with time, often verbs combine with the word time to give you a whole meaning. And then prepositional phrases with time, about time, etc. So here's a little quote from a guy called Henry Thoreau, one of my favorite American philosophers, etc. And he says, time is just a little stream I go a-fishing in. Time is just a little stream I go a-fishing in. What do you think this means? Have a little think for a moment. Well, I think basically he's saying that time is just something that passes and we have to choose what we do with our time, how to make the most of it, which I think is quite a nice little quote. So here we go with expressions with time. Okay, the first one is to be short of time. On the right-hand side of the page, you can see some possible definitions. To be short of time. Is it A, to have a fantastic time? B, to have to finish something by a certain time, often in competition with other people? C, to decide it's time to finish something because it's not going well, it's not working out for you? Is it D, an expression to say that time goes by really quickly? To not have enough time to do something, or to not be up to date with the latest developments, to be a bit old-fashioned, to be short of time? And, well, clearly the answer is E, to not have enough time to do something. Okay, I'm really short of time at the moment. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Okay, so number 2, to be behind the times. Have a look at the definitions on the right again and think, what could be behind the times mean? You can pause the recording now if you want, if you need time to think. To be behind the times is F, to not be up to date with the latest developments, to be old-fashioned. Often our grandparents, etc., struggle with new technology. They're a bit behind the times, or in terms of their ideas, they might be quite conservative in thinking and so on. Be behind the times. Okay, next one is to do something against the clock. Well, this is a watch, but against the clock. What do you think that means? Pause the recording if you need time to think, obviously. To be against, to do something against the clock is B, to have to finish something by a certain time, usually in a competition, or often, in a competition with other people. Okay, so you have to finish this task by 1 o'clock, so you're doing it against the clock. Okay, to have a whale of a time. To have a whale of a time. Okay, a whale, as you probably know, is a big animal, a mammal that lives in the sea, like related to dolphins. A whale of a time. What do you think this means? Well, the answer is A, to have a fantastic time. I had a whale of a time at that party. It was the best party I've ever been to. I had a whale of a time, a really great time. Okay, to call time on something. To call time on something. Which of the expressions do you think this refers to? Again, pause the recording if you need time. To call time on something is C, to decide it's time to finish something because it isn't going well. Okay, I think we should call time on this project or whatever. It's just not delivering the results we wanted, or it's not going well. Call time, decide to stop now. Okay, now the expression how time flies. How time flies. Obviously, it's the last one left, so it's D. It's an expression we say that we use to say that time goes by really quickly. Oh, how time flies. Last time I saw you, you were this high. Okay, how time flies. Okay, expresses that time has gone past really quickly. Okay, let's move on then. And here we've got some more expressions with time. To be out of time. Okay, I'm going to disappear so you can see all of them clearly. Is it A, to have lots of free time to do things? B, it would be best to act now. C, to demand that others act to solve a problem and to criticize the lack of action, to say it's terrible that they haven't done something yet. Is it D, an expression used to ask somebody to hurry as it costs money? E, to do something at the same time every day or week without fail? Or F, to have no more time to do or finish something? So, what do we think? To be out of time is F, to have no more time to do or finish something. I'm sorry, I'll have to collect in your papers now. You're out of time. Time is money. Time is money. Pause the recording if you need to think. Time is money is D. Essentially that money, someone's labor or whatever costs time, or you need to hurry because it's a question of time. Time is money. To do something like clockwork. To do something like clockwork. Every day, my mother cooks lunch at exactly the same time. She does it like clockwork. Is E, to do something at the same time every day or week without fail. Okay, to do something like clockwork. Do you know anybody who does something like clockwork? To have time on your hands. To have time on your hands. An interesting expression. Which of the definitions does this match to? And the answer is A, to have lots of free time to do things. Time on your hands. My dad's now retired, so he's got plenty of time on his hands. Okay, he's got free time to do things. Okay, there's no time like the present. No time like the present is B. You should act now. This is the best time to do it, right now. And finally, 6, it's high time somebody did something. This is usually somebody complaining. It's high time that somebody did something. Is, of course, C, to demand that others act to solve a problem, whatever, or criticize a lack of action. Okay, it's high time the government did something about the drugs problem or whatever. Okay, so you want action. All right. So, let's have a look at some verbs with time. And the quote I've got here is one from Charles Darwin, very famous, of course, the naturalist. A man who dares waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. So what do we mean by a waste of time? A waste of time is when to waste time is to spend our time in a negative way, to spend time doing things that are not useful or whatever. Okay, so a man who dares waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Is that it's important to use your time profitably. Don't waste your time. Okay, so let's have a look at these expressions then. So we've got the following verbs: have, save, spare, take, and kill. The first one is when you go to university, you're something the time of your life. It means it will be the best time ever. You'll something the time of your life. Actually, a song in the film, famous song in the film Dirty Dancing with what's his name? The American actor, the dancer who died recently. It will come back to me. The answer is have the time of your life. The song is I'm have the time of my life, etc. Okay, the second one. My flight was delayed by 2 hours, so I played some games on my phone too. So this is, waiting for something, and you do something to kind of entertain you while you're waiting, in this case for a delayed flight. And the answer is to kill time. To kill time. Yes, I played some games to kill time, or I read a book or whatever to kill time. You're waiting for something else, so you do something to entertain you while you're waiting. Okay, next one. Patrick Swayze, that's it. That's the answer has just come to me from that famous film, Dirty Dancing. Okay, number 3, don't bother trying to convince him. It's something of time. He's already made up his mind. He's already decided. If you try to convince him, you are simply wasting your time. It's a waste of time. Okay? Do something else. Okay. Number 4. When you do the exam, oops, time to disappear, it's important to something your time and read each question carefully. Okay. So you mean to look in detail, not to rush. And the answer is to take your time and read each question carefully. Okay, next one. I'm sorry, I can't help you move house this weekend. I've got an important project to finish and I can't something the time. Okay, so you're not able to do it because you're too busy. You can't spare the time. Okay, you can't spare the time. Okay, let's look at some more sentences using some other verbs. Here we go. So we've got give, take, run out of, take up, and find. Okay, take up and run out of, obviously, phrasal verbs. Well, actually, run out of is a prepositional verb. Okay, so the first one. I'm afraid we've something time. We'll have to finish the activity in the next class. We don't have enough time to do it. We'll have to finish the activity in the next time. We have run out of time. Run out of time. Okay, there's no time left. Okay, the next one. You're in the house, you've decided to decorate, to paint your house, and you say, oh my goodness, the wall's really big. It's going to something us a long time to finish painting it. Okay, it's so big, it will be hours and hours in order to paint it. It will take us a long time to finish. Take us a long time. The next one, I'm sorry, but I don't have enough time to do my homework. A student to the teacher. Hope that's not your case, as you're all good students, okay? I'm sorry, I don't have enough time to do my homework. And the teacher says, well, I'm afraid you'll have to find the time. There's no option, okay? It's obligatory that you do this. You'll have to find the time, okay? Next one. I'll get away again. I'm going to disappear here. My mum is going to something me a hard time if I fail another exam. She's going to be very angry and cross, and she's going to shout at me and tell me off, and she might even ground me, make me stay at home, and so on. She's going to give me a hard time. She's going to give me a hard time. And the last verb we have here, I've recently started doing lots of sports, which something most of my time, so I really don't have time for anything else. So it occupies my time. I don't have any other time left. Any time left. It takes up. Doing lots of sports which take up most of my time. Okay, it occupies my time. I don't have enough time for anything else. Okay, so the next one, the thing that we're going to look at finally here is prepositions with time. So again, I'm going to show you this, and this is the man looking at his watch. It's important to be punctual. The expression is to be on time, to be punctual. Okay, so here we go. We've got the following prepositions: at, before, by, and on. Okay? So, first one, do you get angry when you arrive early but other people aren't something time? Other people don't arrive at the time that they're supposed to. They're not punctual. They aren't. Well, to be punctual is to arrive on time. So they aren't on time. They've arrived late in this case, etc. So do you get angry when people arrive late? When they aren't on time. Okay, next one. Something time I got to the cinema, the film had already started. Okay, so this is an expression. We often use this with the past perfect, this expression, meaning at some time before I arrived, in this case. And the expression is by the time. So at some point before I got there, the film had started. By the time. Next one. He was working as an English teacher in Korea. What expression are we looking for here? And the answer is at the time. Whenever whatever happened, at the time he was working as an English teacher in Korea. Okay, I'm going to disappear again to reveal some more. What's that you're listening to? The Clash? Never heard of them. They must have been something my time. Well, the Clash were a pop group, very famous in the UK, at least in the 1970s, I think. 1970s, yes. So you were too young to listen to the Clash. Maybe you weren't even born. So if something is from a different period of time, a different epoch, It was before your time, so before my time. They must have been before my time. Okay, some more prepositions for you guys. At, behind, in, and off. Okay, so you're just something time to help me hang out this washing. So you've arrived with just enough time to help me hang out this washing at the exact moment to help me, just in time. Just in time. It's a very commonly used expression. I did something just in time. Okay, next one. I'm really exhausted. I'm working so hard, I'm really exhausted. If I don't get some time blank soon, I'll probably get ill. Meaning if I don't get a holiday, if I'm not allowed to take some days off work, and the answer is, of course, time off. So I'm exhausted. If I don't get some time off soon, I'll probably get ill. The next one. My parents are so something the times, they don't even know what what's up is. Well, we actually looked at this previously in the idiomatic expressions, but it is with a preposition, so it's included it here. Let's see if you remember it. Meaning that they come from a different era, so they're not familiar with new technology or new developments. It can also be used when people's ideas are very conservative, etc. And the answer is behind the times. My parents are so behind the times, they don't even know what WhatsApp is. Okay, next one. Again, I'll disappear, let you see the whole sentence. David, oh, he's all right, but he can be a real pain in the neck something times, meaning occasionally, or even often, but occasionally. What prepositional phrase is this? And the answer is at times, at times. Okay, so that's the end of today's lesson on expressions with time. We've looked at verbs with time, save time, spare time, take your time, spend a lot of time doing something carefully. We've looked at prepositions with time, at times, behind the times, and so on, and also idiomatics expressions such as to have a whale of the time and so on. So I hope that you've found this useful. In the next lesson, that's lesson 13, we're going to be looking at grammar, and this is grammar, speculation and deduction. In lesson 11, we looked at modal verbs to express or to make deductions. For example, that must be the postman, or that it can't have been him, he was in Peru at the time, etc. So we use modal verbs to make deductions. So in this lesson, we'll be looking at other expressions using adverbials and adjectives, for example, bound to, and so on. And we'll be contrasting the use of adjectives and adverbs for this purpose. Okay, so I hope that you'll be able to tune in to the next lesson, lesson 13, on speculation, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's lesson on expressions with time, and I hope you've had a whale of a time with me today. Okay, thanks for listening, and see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye for now.